The Bible's clear. There's good, there's evil. There's right, there's wrong. There's male, there's female. There's the creator, there's the creation. And you did not make yourself, God made you.
I don't know if this young lady is she or a ghost. From the ghost. He'll say to the ghost, get on my left side, and to the sheep, get on my right.
We're here! So, we're loud! We're organized and loud!
But I'll organize, I'll sit by the table.
So you believe that the universe made itself?
I honestly, this is kind of an unpopular answer. I never think about it. It doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't matter?
How the universe came to be. We're here. We're in it.
So you don't ask why? I mean, you ask why about other things, right, that are important in life?
Yeah, things that affect me directly.
Okay.
How the universe was made, either way, it was made.
Okay. Did it create itself, or do you think there was a higher power that made it?
There could be. I don't know.
But currently you're an atheist?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you think that we have something like rationality? You know, you are a rational person, you know, and how does time and chance acting on matter give rise to rationality?
I think it has a lot to do with the way our brains have developed over what I believe is years and years and years of evolution. It helps us survive better, to have more complex brains that think in complicated ways. Okay,
so describe that for me. I mean, what do you mean that it developed? In what way did it develop?
So,
because, go ahead.
We'll go back to primates. They were some of the smartest animals. They were surviving very well. And then, in my opinion, or like what they taught me as fact in public school, and I believe is fact, is that after all, mutations led to larger brains, more complex thinking. Those animals survived better.
Okay.
Eventually we have people. Obviously, I couldn't beat up an animal. I couldn't beat up a gorilla, but I could outthink one. And that's why I think people are the major species on the planet.
Okay, so when you say rationality, is that physical or is that non-physical?
Rationality, I would say, I mean, it's mental, but that's physical. It's part of your body, in my opinion.
Or your mind. So you would say that your mind and the brain are the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So why do we have two different words for them? Why do you think that is?
Probably because it's hard to see and measure thoughts. People don't like to think of them as neuroses, like impulses, just nerves, like communicating words, because words aren't palpable. And so since I can't show you like this in my hand, these are my thoughts, it's easier to think of it as an abstract concept, as like this is what my mind is. Okay, so let me ask you this then. So if there is if the brain and the mind are the same, right? If they're the same, then everything that applies to the brain should also apply to the mind, right? So for example, if I have A equals A, okay, and if I describe A, everything in A should also be in the opposite side of the equation. So when you can measure the brain, for example, right? Yeah.
And the brain has weight?
Yes.
Okay. So what about the mind? Can you measure the mind?
I mean, yes. I think so.
Okay, what's the length of it? How much does your mind weigh?
I mean, I don't know this. I don't know these off the top of my.
See, the point that I'm trying to get you to see is that the mind is a non-physical reality. See, as an atheist, you are a materialist as well, and so as a materialist, you will have to give an account for non-physical realities like rationality, like morality, like ethics, goodness, beauty. You believe in these things, but yet as a materialist, how do you account for their existence? Because they're not physical properties.
I mean, there's still like, what I think is there's electrical impulses that just travel through your brain, through your cerebral cortex, and the way people process them is that like when you think to yourself, you hear your voice saying, hey, don't touch that, it's too hot. That's just the way your body imagines, like, just normal neuroses. And I mean, I guess, yeah, you can't put a measure on imagination, but I still think it can be accounted for.
Okay, so here's what the Bible says, right?
Okay.
So the Bible says that God made man in his image and in his likeness, and he placed into man a spirit. And so this is a non-physical reality and a physical reality,
like a
right?
soul.
Okay. And so from the biblical perspective, you are both body and soul. Okay. So this is how we give an account for rationality. This is how we give an account for morality, what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is evil. This is how we even give account for human value. Right? The reason why it is wrong to treat someone incorrectly or to violate them is because they're made in God's image.